are tired of women.
That's no good. This Steal your parents' credit card.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
To front basket.
Fully paused up, baby.
Yes, we've made it. We've crossed over to the other side.
Yes.
We are now, what would you call us in the pause community? We've had both of our doses.
Yes.
So, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, so how was your reaction to it?
Well, I'm so annoyed because I called it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is that you would be totally fine.
Yes.
And it would fuck me up. That's exactly what happened.
So tell us how it was.
Okay, so I got mine at like 2 in the afternoon. At about 5 p.m., I was walking PETA, our dog, and we have like this really like nice neighbor that's like another French bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized suddenly when I had to talk to her, I'm like, oh, my brain's fucked up.
Oh yeah.
So it became this thing of like, I couldn't really recall words very quickly. I was actually mixing up words. It was kind of embarrassing. I felt like I walked over there drunk or something.
Yeah, I totally get that. I had kind of a similar feeling the next day, or actually the same evening that I got it.
Yeah. And then the next day, so like I slept like shit that night.
Yes.
Like absolute shit. And then I woke up at about like 5:30. No, like 4:30, and was super fevery. So I put on like a hoodie and sweatpants, and then got back into bed. Couldn't fall back asleep. So then I just like went in the living room and laid down. And I was like a fevery mess for the rest of the day. But I had like a little bit of a headache, but like nothing crazy. But like really it was just a fever. Like I was fever and tired.
Fever and tired.
You, on the other hand.
Yes. Oh my God. I got my second dose the next day, the day after you got yours. And for one, the shot hurt really fucking bad this time. For whatever reason, the dude said my muscle jumped out and grabbed it. And it's like, nah, you're just being a little rough, because the first one was A-okay. First one felt like nothing. It was a feather's touch.
That
It was like a little pixie came and kissed my arm.
So him making that excuse is very similar to them saying, if you have a bad reaction to it, like I did, you have a very, very strong immune system.
Healthy, strong immune system is what you have. Yeah.
So here's why that's bullshit. Number one, well, like just comparatively, I'm a utter fucking booze bag. Sean hardly drinks at all. And so also I'm 7 years older than you. So me having a bad reaction is to say that my immune system is stronger than Sean's. Blow me. That is not what was going on at all. So what they do, they don't know. They don't know why people have why people have bad reactions to it and others don't.
They're just lying.
They're lying, and stupid people fall for that explanation because they're like,
I must be so healthy.
I must be so healthy. My immune system is so strong. I drink green juice every day.
Green juice. Imagine thinking that actually does something for your health.
Right. So
it's antitoxin. It has antioxidants in it.
Which, name one.
Name one toxin.
That
you got to detox. What are you detoxing? The drag queen?
And like, yeah. And look, like, with all these like, new agey things, if enemas were to release toxins, we would be the most healthy people on the planet.
Enema. Yeah, I take a bucket of my own urine and I squirt it up my butthole.
Why the fuck are there frame rate issues?
I have no idea. It's been doing that since we started. Actually, it said the stream quality updated. I don't know. Maybe something's going on with our internet, but I mean, looking at it on my phone, not too bad.
It looks worse on here.
No, it actually still looks pretty bad. I don't know what it is. But so my experience with the vaccine, I got my second one. He says it jumped out and grabbed the needle, and I was like, yeah, sure, man. That's exactly what happened. The first time was totally fine. What are you?
This is gonna bug me.
Hang on, you occupied?
I don't know what.
Got yoinked, really?
Maybe. We'll see. See, now it's much better. Okay.
Well, hopefully it stays much better.
Yeah.
I had no reaction to the vaccine. Just arm soreness for like 18 hours. I had arm soreness on the day of. I took a Tylenol PM at night and was fine. I slept through the night just fine. I woke up, however, with a very, very slight fever. I could tell. I took a ibuprofen and I was totally fine for the entire day. I felt better than I have ever felt.
That made me
in months.
so fucking annoyed.
I was in such a good mood. I felt incredible after my second vaccine. The next day, I was on top of the world. I went to work. Boom. I was on top of everything. Honestly, like no brain fog either.
It was so irritating because I knew that would happen. I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Like, is it still working?
It looks fine now.
All right, good.
To me, it does at least.
Yeah. I'll tell
fine.
you and tell the audience. So for some reason, my Ethernet thing has been behaving strangely.
Damn it.
And then I was connected to this Wi-Fi and not the one down there, our main one. And this is just slightly slower than this one. But even then, I mean, like when we used to stream in my old bedroom, we
never had a problem.
It was 150. This is 300. That's like 600.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who
Yeah.
cares?
What the fuck? Who cares?
But yeah, like I was annoyed with it because I just knew you'd be fine. I knew it
How did you know?
because you had no reaction to the first one at all. Like you were totally fine, and
That's
also
true. I was fine.
I don't know. I don't know. Like this kind of shit hits me harder for some reason. I don't know why. As if I have any fucking idea what they put in my body. Who fuck knows? But still, yeah. So we got it, and like we probably said it on the last one, but largely, well, getting it was partly just we had your family over, and you can be like, we're the people that got it. You're the ones who maybe don't want to get it.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit?
Yeah,
like,
who cares?
Who cares? So, I don't know. Like, kind of being ambassadors for the people who get it and also aren't super gay and judgmental,
Oh, yeah. Or like the kind of people who will like be double vaxxed up and still wear masks with their friends.
Dude.
I mean, kill me. I told you guys the story of my colleague who did that in a closed space with like 3 people who like all kind of knew each other. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're double vaxxed. They're double vaxxed. I'm vaxxed. Like, what? What's the point of all this?
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole.
So, where'd that shirt come from?
It's Drew's old shirt. He was getting rid of a ton of stuff, and I was like, I'm taking this. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. So yeah, I took a lot of shit.
Yeah. Good. All the stuff you took, I'm always like, that's pretty cool.
Pretty nice,
pretty
right?
cool.
Yeah, and
That's pretty
I've never seen him wear it. He was like, yeah, I had that for like a year, but I only wore it once. So he doesn't sound like a catty cosmopolitan gay. I just like doing that voice for him.
He is like a sneakerhead, though.
A sneakerhead. Yeah, he's become a recent sneakerhead where he like wears like obsidians and like whatever that means.
I don't know
whatever
what that
the
means.
fucking
Is
obsidian
it like the skate shoes?
No. That is Osiris.
Oh.
Isn't it? Osiris?
I think so.
Did you ever wear
DC or Airwalk?
DC?
Oh,
yeah, I had DC shoes. I'm thinking back to what I used to wear. I think after my DC phase when I was pretty young, so I was trying to like follow in the footsteps of my brother and my cousins who were like skaters and they were cool. I switched over to Converse, and since then I've just been wearing Converse all the time.
Converse has been a strange shoe that has literally stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Since 1950. I mean, it's
incredible.
bizarre.
I mean, they're great shoes.
I
don't
guess.
see what the issue
I mean,
is.
they're not. They have no support for anything.
No, yeah.
Like all that's really changed with Converse are the soles are slightly squishier.
Yeah. And I love them.
Yeah, they look great.
I
with
also
everything.
wear Vans. I have like some Adidas that I wear now, but like yeah, I'm not really a shoe head kind of guy. I'm not a shoe on head kind of guy.
Shoe on head kind of guy. If we were to make the Supreme Gentleman shirt,
Yeah.
would Drew wear it and know what it means?
No, absolutely not.
No to what?
I will gift it to him. We will make that Supreme Gentleman.
And he'll have no idea what it means.
No, I don't think he's ever seen the manifesto. Fucking Elliot Rodger.
I often forget how deeply online I am.
Yeah, most people actually don't know the lore behind the internet
No.
as well as we do.
No.
I mean,
Well,
like,
Elliot Rodger is just, what he did was horrible, blah, blah, blah. But his videos before he did it are chef's kiss. They are
oh my god.
so just what I love about, like, not what I love about it. What was so interesting about that story is he was not an unattractive guy at all.
Right.
But it so goes to show how far being an effective communicator can be to have somebody touch your penis.
Yeah, that poor kid. And those poor people that he killed, but
Well,
also, like,
more importantly, poor him. I mean, that's like really.
If he had like somebody to touch his penis, I'm sure things would have gone a little bit.
You kind of
different.
wonder, right? Like, do you think he would have
Yeah.
done it if somebody touched his penis?
I don't know. I mean, my argument is probably no, he wouldn't have done it.
I don't think
Because
so
he
either.
would have been loved and accepted by at least one person in the world.
Perry, do you think that Elliot Rodger would have killed people in Isla Vista if someone touched his penis?
Well,
But so
Yeah.
what did you do with your day today?
my day today?
Mhm.
Oh, my day. I honestly did like nothing. You were gone most of the day, so I like. I snuck out of bed at like what time did you get up? I was up at like 9, I think. Today.
5:30, I guess.
You got up at 5:30.
Kind of about that, yeah.
Damn. I was up at like 9. And had some breakfast. But today I've been watching Dimension 20's D&D campaign, or one of their D&D campaigns. So Dimension 20 is like a College Humor offshoot channel that does like nerd D&D stuff. And they're doing this campaign, or they did this campaign in 2019 or 2020 that was based in like New York. And all the characters are like really cool and fun. And one of them is like a Broadway singer. She's a bard. But I've really been enjoying it. So if you guys are looking for something like fun and creative to listen to, Dimension 20, they're playing a campaign called The Unsleeping City. And it's set in New York, where there's like the New York world. There are the 5 boroughs of New York. There's a 6th borough, which is like the dreamland. And then there's like the magic world that exists all around it. And only people who can use magic can see the magic. So regular residents of New York don't see it. But some people wake up to the magic every once in a while and get introduced to this world. And that it follows a campaign of 2 people who get woken up and meet 4 other people who have already been awoken to magic for a very long time. But it's so fun.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I got aggressively drunk and was aggressively asking Sean questions because I don't understand games that have complicated rules. And I feel like D&D is one of those that are so layers deep of rules and things that are going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't understand it. And then essentially what it boiled down to that you accepted was that it's rules, but mostly what makes a game work is improv theater.
Yes, exactly.
Which is why I'm unable to play this game.
What would make you able to play it?
That's the hitch. I like.
You don't know.
Well, no, it's improv. I'm not. I don't.
What would, so if we got rid of the improv, what would be the ideal adventure game for you?
I don't really know, dude. Like, I mean, I like, code names, or like games that are kind of simple and have deception elements where like you can kind of do improv or whatever, but you don't have to create a whole imaginary yes and scenario, you know? And I'm not shitting on improv. It's just not at all my forte in the slightest. And so, and I think it's just I live in my head entirely. So like this game just did not really make sense. But now I get it, but I still don't want to play. So your friends are coming over on Friday, I hope.
Yeah, I hope they do still.
And I'm gonna make them
they
a
all said
brisket.
they want to. Oh, dude, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I'm going to follow up with them maybe this evening and see what's going on. But yeah, that's I hope they do come over. We've got a great table for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be perfect.
Yes.
And I'll sit around it, eat our food. There's plenty of room for plates around the table as well with our game board. So I'm super stoked about that. Right now, our campaign has left off where we've made our way into the astral realm. We are in the astral realm right now, and our little orphan girl guide just split open and turned into a doppelganger, which is a creepy shape-shifting creature that is pretty evil. That will probably knock out one of us. unless we're all there and active and really fighting. But yeah, that's where our thing has left off. We're on our way to secure the second gemstone, or the second relic that needs to go into a totem that we do not have. We do not have the totem. It's all super complicated or whatever, but basically we're looking for 3 gemstones to fit into a totem, so that we can stop the 1920s version of Hitler, 1920s London version of Hitler. So that's our campaign.
Well, Hitler would have been alive in 1920.
Well, yes, he would have been. I guess I'm thinking of like Hitler's mentor. You know,
What's his name?
I don't know.
Hitler?
I'm making this person up.
Are you yes
It's
anding
yes
right?
and. Say
Yeah.
yes and.
I have
What's
questions.
his name? Why
See-
would I know his name?
See, that's the thing. I have too many questions. Well, what,
Well, also your questions may not be answered because your character might not know them. You have to roll to see if your character has the intelligence or the wisdom or the history to know certain names of people or whatever if you've seen them before. It's crazy. It's so much fun though. I love it.
So that would just make me frustrated.
Of course it would. You'd be like, why can't you just tell me the name?
I
It's
know.
like, well, you don't know the name. Like,
Yeah.
if I asked you what the person who lives 3 blocks down is named, why would you know that? You yourself. You have to convince the dungeon master that you would know that. Like, hey, I'm a trash worker, and I take their trash bins every week, and I see them occasionally, so I would be able to know who this is. That's kind of how it is.
But the dungeon master makes a story, so you couldn't convince him or her of anything.
You could if you like roll high enough with advantage. Like he'd
so
probably
then
he'd probably
has
be
to,
like
he or she has to accept.
it'd probably be like, hey, I'm a trash worker. I take their trash cans out. I would probably know their name. And he's like, okay, roll for it. You roll a 20 or whatever, or you roll a D20, which has 20 sides. And he says, maybe roll with advantage because you should know that person's name. So you roll the dice twice, and whichever one has the higher number, you take that number. A high number succeeds, a low number fails.
Okay.
That's
Well, that's why I'm cooking for you guys and not playing.
exactly.
And we'll probably get aggressively drunk at that as well. So
Yeah. How was your day though? Because you asked me about mine, and I didn't ask you.
dude,
Did you have to boot up your mom's phone?
it was the worst scenario for it.
No,
Yeah,
really?
So my mom and I are on Sprint. When I get a new phone, which I just got one, I give her my old ones because it terrifies her to pragmatically go and upgrade stuff. But she was on my old iPhone 6, and so I'm like, look, you'll have a better camera. I replaced the battery in the iPhone 10 that I had before this one, and so new phone for you. It's time. Typically that's been how it's been over like the last. Basically since the iPhone 5, 4, I've been doing this for her. But it's never easy. If you go and actually buy a new phone, they make it very easy. If a phone is being transferred from elsewhere, it's so not easy. So today I was talking to this poor woman that sounded like she was in Bangladesh. I mean, it was not. Usually they send you to the Philippines, I think, at night, but today was India. And this woman was. And was tough was she was like, do you mind if I put the phone on, the woman helping me, do you mind if I put the phone on speakerphone? And I was like, she's like, it's hurting my ear to have it, which means she was talking to me on a cell phone, which is also crazy.
Yeah.
And then she put on speakerphone, and there are so many people in that phone bank where she was working that it was so loud and so hard to understand her, but I didn't have the heart to tell her, I can't fucking hear you, because her life is so much worse than mine.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I found out was when I transferred over to my new phone, it works. It's been working this whole time, but they didn't remove the other one. And I wondered why my other one still had service. So I just turned it off. So they didn't quite do their due diligence to do that. And
wow.
So T-Mobile and Sprint merged. And the great part about that is that anybody who was on Sprint, they want to give you free shit all the time. The bad side is that they have no idea what the fuck's going on. So my phone that I was giving my mom was not off the contract or off of my account. So I call them. Oh, there's a few things that were so weird. So the only way they would let me access her account with her there's some pretext that's needed here. So my mother is 70. so is my father. They didn't really evolve with technology. It's not really interesting to them or exciting. So I've been their IT person for 15 years.
Yeah.
So, passwords, how to get into things, logins, none of this. Even having an online account to pay bills, they don't have it. It doesn't exist. It scares the shit out of them.
Right.
So this lady was asking me, what's the 6-digit PIN number? I'm like, I don't know. And I asked my mom, like, do you have it written down? And she's like, no, I don't even know what the fuck that is. And then she's like, what's the name of your first pet? And I'm like, well, the cat we had when I was growing up, that was the first pet we had as a family.
Yeah.
That name didn't work.
Good Lord.
And so I started to get mad at this poor lady because I was like, well, all the information I told her, I'm like, well, do you want her social security number? Because that is way more secure than these two dumb things you've assigned us. Nope, she wouldn't take that. So
good Lord.
Then I found out that I could log into an online account. I don't know who made it or how. It gets fucking weird. This was so weird. So I log into her account. Her bill, she pays. I have a brother who's older and has serious mental illness problems, and so she pays for his cell phone bill. But it's like only $20, out of the line, it's like nothing. Her bill was like $180.
Whoa!
And she only had 15 gigs of data.
What?
Yeah. So we logged into that, and get this: there's a wireless DSL modem on her account too. It's also charging her $20.
Oh my God.
And so because of that router that I don't know what the fuck that thing is or why it's on the account or what it even does or I don't know what it is. That was confusing. She's like, I don't know how to transfer this over. I'm like, ignore that. Like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
These two, like, don't fuck up my brother's phone because he'll kill himself. And then, don't fuck up her phone and like help it transfer. So first she had to go through the process of making my account whole because they didn't do their work in the beginning. That took probably 45 minutes. And then we got to her phone, we got it activated, and still this. So what I think happened is, so my mother went to the Sprint store to help my brother activate his phone, right? Mm-hmm. I think these people fucking fleeced them.
God damn it, dude.
I know. And I told her, I'm like, what did I tell you before you went there? She's like, that you should go with me. And I'm like, yes, because I smell bullshit when this stuff happens. I know how these fucking assholes work, and I will literally reach over the counter and strangle them. Like, so we don't know. Like, so she sent a picture of the thing to my brother and was like, do you have this? What, like, why is this charging me $20 a month to have this wireless thing? He has no idea what it is. Of
course.
So these people probably sold them a thing that they don't even have. Plus,
oh my God,
they told my mother that you don't need unlimited data. You only need 15 gigs of data. And I was like, Mom, streaming a podcast on the way over here cost me probably 4 gigs of data.
Yeah.
In 40 minutes.
Lord.
And so we live in a world through which not having unlimited data is impossible. What are you doing? And so, yeah, these fucking douches fleeced my fucking elderly mother who doesn't know what's going on and my basically disabled brother.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen now is we're going to, because like nobody knows what the fuck this $20 charge is on this modem.
Right.
I'm going to fucking go into the store and it's going to get dark. Like,
yeah.
And like, I don't even care if they're nice. It's like, who, tell me the name of the person that did this.
Yeah.
Because like, and they're going to be like, oh, we're so sorry. No. This company that we were a part of took advantage of an elderly person and a disabled one. Mm-hmm. So give us free shit now. It's like basically what's going to happen. So, but of course, the woman in Bangladesh, I mean, she was so helpful and so patient. I'm not going to fucking say that to her.
Right.
But
she's so far removed.
The dumb-dicked commissioned Americans here. Oh, dude. And I am not like a fucking cunty person to service people, but these dicks really did a number because they do get a commission, you know? And I would get a commission by doing a good job and trying hard.
Yes.
They did it by taking advantage of people that were vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so that took forever. The bright side, though, is that even with that extra $20 charge, I got her bill done to $106.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And got the phone working and everything like that. But
good.
I'm like, Mother, please do not let anyone other than me handle any of this for you guys anymore.
Yeah, seriously.
And so,
holy shit.
yeah.
How many years have they been paying for that?
Dude, I mean, so my brother has get this shit too. So when T-Mobile and Sprint merged, there's no more contracts that are really involved. So like you can kind of switch your plan whenever you want.
Yeah.
The kind of contract thing, I think they wanted, I think that cell phone companies got rid of contracts. They don't want to subsidize phone costs anymore.
Yeah.
Which I get, because in the past you could get like a 2-year contract, get a brand new iPhone that was like $1,000 for like $300.
Yes. Yeah.
That was sort of thing. Now it's like you either, dude, how are you paying for your phone, by the way?
Just phone bill. I mean, it's like $20 a month till it's paid off, and it's paid off now.
So you're not stupid or simple. So my brother is simple and leased an iPhone 7.
Leasing an iPhone?
And he's an iPhone 7, and that's when it was new. He's been leasing an iPhone since the iPhone 7 came out.
Holy fucking shit.
So he's paid for that phone 4 times.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And they never told him. And this sweet woman that I was talking to on the phone, like, retroactively canceled it and, like, gave us money back.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But
Jesus Christ, dude.
But, like, they don't really tell you what's going on. I mean, like, I didn't change my plan for a while to make it cheaper just because I was, like, throttling. I had, like, concerns about this, like, these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And my bill didn't change much, but now I'm paying about the same that I did before while paying off a phone. But, like, don't ever lease phones. Why would you ever do that?
That is so silly.
Because, like, I give my mother my old ones, but if I were to sell that phone, I could pretty much pay for a whole year of the lease price on a phone.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Or rather the sale price.
Right,
and so
exactly.
it doesn't, I don't know, like people really, I get like cars and APR and financing, how people kind of get fleeced or whatever. But this is so simple. This whole thing is so simple. Like look at your upcharge rate based on your credit score. But this should be sort of the lesson for people on a very baseline kind of thing of don't do things that are stupid like this. And again, the lease price for my phone, like a brand new iPhone 12 Boner Plus Max Pozzed up with HIV, that thing was $7 more to pay it off to actually own it than it was to lease it.
Yeah.
And I can still trade it in and get a new one and start over.
Yes.
Whenever I want. So
yeah, at this point I think I own this one now. I've had it for quite a while.
Yeah, you have, yeah. So it was really striking to me. So it really is going to, again, I'm not going to, if the salesperson's nice, I worked in service for a long time, I'm not going to like make them want to kill themselves, but I'm going to get really threatening about give this old lady free shit now.
Yeah.
So like that's something I'm actually kind of.
I know. You seem really excited about it. When's that going to happen?
Probably at the end of the month. I'll go and do that.
Great.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I can't really see her until then again. But you know, I still got her bill down $70.
Yeah.
$80.
Damn.
No,
dude.
$84.
Damn. What the hell?
Even with that fucking modem that probably those fucking dumb dick guys are using for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
It has its own phone number.
That's insane.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what it is.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
God damn it,
So
dude.
that was my day.
This shit sucks.
But I told you before I left, I'm like, either this will be the easiest thing on the planet, or
it'll take the longest.
Which
it's ever
because like,
taken.
which I knew it wouldn't be easy. Like what would have made it easy would have been getting the phone, and then I just swap out the SIM cards, right?
Excuse me.
Like I back hers up, load it onto the new phone, SIM cards, which is how every other service works. But
yeah,
with Sprint, they do SIM cards now, but they didn't used to, right?
Yeah.
And so that's not the easy switch. And so and again, them not taking the phone off my account, and they need like the IMEI number and all this crazy shit. So yeah, it took fucking forever. It took longer than I thought because I didn't think they would have to take it off my account. I figured they'd already done that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was a wild experience.
Jesus Christ.
Phones and service providers are like printers. It is never easy. You get this thing, Bluetooth connectivity, Wi-Fi 2.7.
It's not that simple.
Never, ever.
It's not that simple.
Never. So yeah, that was my day.
Ugh, awful. Well, a lot has happened this last week.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start on this one?
On SNL.
SNL. Elon Musk. Well, okay, so
Good
we
practice,
tuned
yeah.
in about halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through, because we saw the first performance by Miley Cyrus and Kid Laroi.
You know that I don't know who that is. I had no idea who that was.
I don't know who that is. I
But
don't.
like, you should start with saying that, like, you know, Perry's gonna probably laugh at us, but like, we bought some Dogecoin. Like, why not? You know, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if this show will
Fun.
dictate what this currency does, it would be interesting to kind
Hilarious.
of own it and see what happens. Right?
Yeah.
The show was so bad that it permanently tanked the value of the coin.
It is tanked. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has been at like 50 cents since the
It's
show.
at like 40 right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. And like right when SNL started, it went dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really went down, which is hilarious.
And it's so obvious as to why it happened. So first of all, I don't like. There's not a lot of people watching right now, but if you guys have watched SNL before, is it always this bad?
It is.
I've not watched it in years.
I haven't either. What we saw the other night was just so embarrassing. I mean, like, I'm thinking of like, what were these actors thinking in their heads as they were performing it? Because, like I said to you, Jordan, there are people right now performing this exact scene on stage. What we're seeing right now is real life. Somebody
Yeah.
is doing this.
Yep.
What are they thinking?
What are they thinking?
Are they not so embarrassed? That, I mean, to browbeat SNL is so tired and stupid. But
I mean,
like,
but not really, because here's the thing, right? So I could kind of excuse this sort of shit humor when it was about Drumpf. Like, you guys have to talk about Orange Man and his tiny hands, all this dumb, fucking unfunny shit, where you're trying to parody a man who's already a parody. Like, I get it. You know, you're on NBC, whatever. We understand. So first of all, it started with the musical performance you just mentioned.
yes, Miley Cyrus and Kid Laroi.
So she's great.
Yeah, she's really come into herself lately, or rather in the last like few years, where she's like really embraced rock as her thing.
And I liked the
Makes
second
sense.
song she played, but it's hard as a musician or anybody who is being honest with themselves to say that she is not objectively talented. She is absolutely objectively talented. This kid sucked. And your
Right.
explanation as to why he was popular was he looked like an e-boy, but he's not cute, not talented. So what the fuck is it?
I don't know. I think the bar is so low for like internet famous dudes, like young boys.
I could find a kid on TikTok that could probably sing as well as him,
Yeah,
and it's way cuter.
yeah. I mean, they're busy with TikTok though, because they have millions of followers where they do like little dances,
And they
So-
make probably more money than Kid Laroi.
way more. Yeah, they make fucking bank on TikTok. So, yeah, like this pretty untalented kid, or like mediocre kid, average, performed. We saw that. Next was the Weekend Update, because we missed like the opening scene or whatever.
Dude, that was
Weekend Update was
crazy.
as if they had collected jokes from the entirety of the pandemic and shoved them all into this thing.
And this wasn't the premiere. Like, they've already had ones before this, right?
Yeah. So there was like jokes that were topical in January, like November of last year. It was like, what are you doing?
And what doesn't make sense to me is it's like, so this, like, there are legendary stories about how grueling the writing room is for this show, right? It's Monday through, or rather, you know, let's say Tuesday through Friday, they are sleeping in the writing room doing that. This was the laziest, shittiest. I am not a comedy writer. I could have done better.
It was so embarrassing.
It was so bad. And what I think tanked Dogecoin, other than Elon Musk
Oh God, he's awful.
being terrible on the show,
He's so bad.
but at the same time, like, so I have a couple theories, right? So, but he also, on Weekend Update, they were like, what is it? And then he kind of gave this like cool guy explanation of what it is. And I'm like, no, that you needed to mention it in a tiny way. That's how you would have piqued the interest of people.
Yeah.
You would have slipped it into a sketch if you were brave or whatever. But watching this billionaire autist on this show, I'm like, oh, you want to be famous?
Yeah.
Couldn't you tell?
Yeah.
He was like, ew, really?
So bad.
You are already kind of interesting in your own right, and hateable in many ways to many people, but at the same time, you throw money in ridiculous ways to do interesting shit. That's who you are.
Right.
You're not funny or a terribly good communicator. You are good at this one thing. And so being on the show, if he had any self-awareness, would have been like, my role needs to be limited. And then him shout it out unscripted. That would have been interesting. But they made several segments about it where he would talk about it.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, while the sketches are already unfunny, SNL's inaugural Make-A-Wish kid, Pete Davidson, would show up to make them even more unfunny. What's the deal with him? Why is
with
it?
Pete Davidson?
He's like a Make-A-Wish kid that hasn't died. It's like he gets like thrown into sketches to kind of be like, oh wow, dude, and then he's just gone. It's what the fuck? What the fuck is this show?
I don't know. And it's like, are they really what like improv comedians need to strive for? It's like, I think of the people who are at like fucking Groundlings and Upright Citizens Brigade, and I'm like, God, is that really like your magnum opus? Like, is that going to be your life's work to end up on SNL? Because this is so bad.
Dude,
so
we watched so Shane Gillis, who got fired, or like
who didn't really start working at SNL.
And we kind of dunked on him when we did an episode, but he's legitimately really funny. And I played you, believe it or not, a Trump sketch.
That was actually pretty funny.
Really funny. And so much. So I bet he's glad he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Your family will respect you because they're all boomers or whatever, but they don't watch the show. Who watches this? People probably watch this one.
Right.
But so many people watch this one, they're going to be like, I'm never watching that shit again.
It was awful.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like, the only one that was kind of quasi-funny was the Mars thing, which was pre-taped, you know? But even then, it ended on such a stupid fucking note. And I saw another one that we missed, which was Generation Z.
Oh,
Doctor.
Gen Z Hospital.
Dude.
Ugh.
I mean...
Ugh.
Is it because we're weletting women in the writing room? Is it, you know, it's like diversity
Literally,
hires? Like,
she's
what?
dead. No cap. It's like, God, it's so awful.
We can play the Shane Gillis sketch. It's not like any big company.
I mean, it's still on his YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, but let's play.
All right, let's
yeah.
roll the dice, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's roll the dice. I thought it was pretty good.
It was.
I'm still like averse to Trump sketches.
But this one worked, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the guy that got fired from SNL for being a racist, I suppose.
Huh? Oh, Shane. Yeah. I was like, who's this?
For about 3 minutes, then you're going to hear this buzzer. Okay? And when that goes off, we're going to move to the next table. Ready to find some love? Tana.
What are you doing here?
I was asked to speak at this hotel. It turns out there's some type of pussy banquet going on.
Can you wait a second? Just give me a second. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, ugly, fat, orange, fuck.
Social media. They did.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's
Take
not
it
going
away.
to...
I was too good. In fact, go ahead. Put it back up.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
But, I mean, he does a pretty good Trump impression.
Yeah, he does it, but it doesn't need to be funny. I mean, like, it's the one-liners he delivers on kind of... What he gets well in the sketch is not it was Russians in collusion, like this Colbert thing.
Yeah.
What he does is he insults these women that reject him in a way that is realistic. Like how Trump would actually do it, but a much more vulgar way.
Yes.
Like, your pussy stinks. I can literally smell it right now. Like, which is shit that he would say if he was probably in private and not on TV.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what made it funny. And so even in a post-Trump world, the sketch still landed because it was fucking edgy, dude. I mean, even slightly edgy. I mean, it was a chef's knife that has been used for 2.5 years on a plate, edgy. And Saturday Night Live was a brick. Nothing. Yeah. It was so bad. And the fucking Mario sketch.
Oh my God.
What the fuck even was that?
That was arguably the worst. And at the very end, we were like, that could have been so interesting and funny, but they did not want to push it because it turned out to be like an anti Italian defamation kind of PSA or whatever.
And like
It could have been so interesting and so funny.
yeah, which yeah, the how they ended it and closed it could have been the interesting thing. And then again, it's like every American in their own American way, meaning that it's like pretty privileged compared to the rest of the world. This last year has been a horror, you know? So let's make rape jokes again. You know,
Yeah.
Wario raped somebody, but that gets kind of thrown in the middle where everyone's like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Just something that kind of makes it edgy or something's going on, but it's like they're trying to be so safe that they don't really say anything, because humor often, especially on a live show, makes you laugh because like, oh fuck, and then you start laughing like
Yeah.
they said that, you know. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, so into reverent shit now that none of it makes sense. But yeah, the Wario sketch in the Weekend Update, and again, remembering SNL from back in the day where Norm Macdonald would host it, and they would tell Norm, hey, don't talk about the OJ case, and he would do it every fucking show until he was fired.
Yeah.
He didn't care. They told him no.
Yeah.
Where is that? Where are these people?
Where? Literally where?
Even Elon billionaire Musk couldn't be edgy or interesting.
It was just so bad.
Network TV just has to go away.
worst.
It has to just go away. And speaking of which,
Yeah, speaking of network TV going away, the evil is defeated. Ellen is ending her run of The Ellen Show in 2022.
yes.
Oh. It's like my skin burst open and my soul left my body.
I think, like, you know, because at the end of the day, she's like, going to be a dumb fucking rich lady for the rest of her life. But on the same token, I know this whole thing made her really sad. And that made me feel so good.
Her losing her show?
Yes. Well, I think that she probably chose to end it
Yeah.
because she now realized that the horrible person she is recognized by the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was very satisfying to me. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
What have been some of your favorite Ellen DeGeneres moments?
I don't know. I mean, I was pretty allergic, honestly, to shows, and she was kind of the first one that I can think of, because it was kind of before all the late night talk show hosts became these milquetoast terrible people, where she was trying to make celebrities relatable and likable.
Mm-hmm.
And if the celebrity sucks, let them sit in it.
Yeah.
I encourage you all. So Dick Cavett was a talk show host for a long time. I mean, probably from like the the early 60s to I think the early 80s. And he did interviews with, like, he was kind of the first Joe Rogan in the sense that it wasn't a variety show sort of format like Johnny Carson. It was long form, like minimum 50-minute interviews. I mean, with Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, Marlon Brando. I mean, these crazy just legends of our time, right? But when he didn't like somebody, he would make it known, right? And so Norman Mailer was kind of the writer, was a legendary guest that Cavett hated. And it's like, so some of those panels are uncomfortable and they're interesting.
Yeah.
Because like Dick Cavett doesn't laugh like Jimmy Kimmel to kind of make brush off something that's rude or insincere or stupid.
Yeah.
He kind of digs into it and has very dry, stupid humor, but it kind of works in just sort of deflating the ego of this person who's come on his show with a giant one.
Yeah.
And my favorite one is him with Kirk Douglas, gay actor Michael Douglas's dad. So Kirk Douglas is on the show for a long period of time and is just trying to really impress Dick Cavett for some reason, who's kind of a skinny, nerdy, white guy intellectual, about his like sexual prowess. And Dick is just not impressed. He's just so not impressed and just starts to like get really dismissive, and it gets like really tense and weird. But even like ones that are more captivating than that, him talking to Muhammad Ali, where Norman Mailer is trying to like relate really hard to Muhammad Ali's struggle. and Muhammad Ali's like not impressed, and it's like this weird kind of, it like Norman Mailer in that interview kind of exemplifies the white liberal of today. It was great. It was like such a great moment. But also, I mean, some of the more legendary ones, and I probably have a point here, I don't know, but I just encourage you guys to go watch it because it's really interesting. So he does like one with Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando, this is right after he went to accept the award for The Godfather, but he didn't go, and he had this Native American woman go up, which is like also, I was not born or alive during this time period. This like in the 70s, but it's pretty interesting to watch this Native American woman go up and accept the award, where Marlon Brando says, "Say what you want." She talks about like, you know, stealing native lands, things that liberals care about now, and the entire liberal Hollywood audience boos her off the stage.
Booed her, yeah.
And it's like, that's who you all are. That's who you all are. That's who you are. And then he was so depressed by the whole thing that he would not do any interview about it afterwards. But, and they say in the beginning of the interview that he called, or Dick Cavett called him, or like got a hold of him somehow, and they talked on the phone before the interview from 8 at night until 4 in the morning.
Jesus.
Just talked and talked and talked. And then you see the rapport when they're on stage together. And that Marlon Brando was a fucking movie star. You know, Dick Cavett will ask him some serious question. He just kind of looks at the audience and smiles, and everyone starts laughing. He just was so fucking charming.
Yeah,
and so
of course.
Cool. And so it's just as sad to me that our iconography, our heroes, our artists have been distilled down to Demi Lovato on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did I even start with that? But
well, there's a
SNL,
moment. There's a moment because we're talking about Ellen. There's a moment where, did you see that clip where Dakota Johnson went on Ellen and was like, "Oh yeah, I had my birthday party or whatever, and it was a lot of fun. All my friends were there." And Ellen was like, "Oh, I didn't get an invitation." And Dakota's like, "Ellen, that's not true." And she's like, "What are you talking about? You didn't invite me." She's like, "No, I sent you the invitation, and you didn't come." And she was like, "Really? I totally would have come." And she's like, "No, you weren't there at my party, like you just said. You weren't there." And Ellen is like caught for once in her fucking career, where she's caught being like kind of a fake monster, like she's a fake person, very monstrous.
The mask
you know,
slipped.
The mask slipped. Exactly. Yeah, the mask slipped. And then I was thinking of another moment. Gosh, another.
There were like a handful of little ones like that.
My one interaction with Ellen is I was at a benefit party, which I think I've told this story on the podcast before. I was at a like a benefit gala for the Trevor Project, which is like for like gay and trans youth who like mostly like end up homeless or need like suicide hotlines. The Trevor Project funds a lot of these things to give them houses and to also like be available 24 hours a day to like keep kids from killing themselves. So I went to this big like donor event where I wasn't an invited guest. I was literally just given tickets by somebody who was a donor and they didn't want to go. And so I also got like their donor badge or whatever that said they donated like $10,000 or more to the cause. So I was kind of treated a little bit differently at this place. People thought I was like some young millionaire.
Isn't that fucking something though?
Yeah, people thought I was some young millionaire at this place.
Even though you were actually a poor gay boy who was at this party.
Yeah, who actually used the Trevor Project and Trevor Space as a gay youth. But it was very interesting to be there from the other side.
But you matter less.
Exactly. To see like the rich people who were there. There was one token trans person. Everybody else was like old, rich, white dudes. I saw a few women, but not really a whole lot. Basically, like, Ellen was given an award for her work for, like, LGBT youth or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, what did she do? Nothing.
Literally, you come... I mean, hold the pin real quick for that thought. In fairness to her, she was...
in the 90s.
One of the first openly gay people on TV. Yeah. Okay,
yes.
That's it.
But her work, they were awarding her for like her work in the last couple of years.
They're like honorary awards every year for just anybody who's out of the closet and gay. I mean, it's
honorary award. Yeah. So, they awarded her this thing. She was supposed to be there. She came after her award was announced. She picked up the award from the foyer in the house that we were having it at. She left and didn't say hi to anybody. She just grabbed it and left. She didn't even like accept the award, didn't make a speech or anything like that. That's my personal interaction, my personal experience with her. That isn't really an experience. It's just like she was there and she was gone because she didn't want to be there at a cause that she claims to care about.
Yeah, I mean, like I have a lot of friends. I mean, and I've probably said this as well, but again, she's come up a few times on our podcast. We've done 110 episodes, so you're gonna get some repeats. I have friends that have worked for her. Friends, a lot of people in Hollywood, especially gay people, are like hysterical and make things like more dramatic than they actually are. But these people don't. Mm-hmm. Like one person I know worked in lighting for her. Another one was an intern. Another one was a staff writer. She was so awful and so abusive, and it was such a toxic, fucking rapey, weird workplace because she literally just brushed everything under the rug, including her own anger, because if she held somebody else accountable, then they would turn it back on her. She's an awful fucking person. Yeah. And so, yeah, she'll be a rich lady for the rest of her life, but the fact that she is probably suffering over this is fantastic. Mm-hmm. Makes me really happy. She sucks.
Yeah, I'm wondering like what happened down the line to make her into this, but who knows?
Some people are just bad.
Yeah.
And I think that, for her, it's like whatever bad behavior she had, or like, again, like you can have struggles in your lifetime, which I'm sure that she did, right? And, when she came out in the 90s, she was dating Anne Heche. Anne Heche was like in and out of the closet and all this fucking drama. Tabloids just fucking loved eating that up, probably tortured her or whatever. But you get to make a choice. Whatever trauma you experience does not give you permission to be a shitty person to people who have less than you. And at this point, she has an empire that rivals Oprah.
Yeah.
So it's like, especially other gay people. And she only cares about herself. And it's like, fuck her. Fuck her. She's the worst.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Ugh. Rapid fire news. God, there was something that Biden said that was like, those who are unemployment, if they deny a job that's underpaying, they'll get kicked off unemployment. Which is like,
what do you say?
Biden said in like an interview that anybody who's on unemployment right now getting unemployment benefits, if they deny any job that comes their way, regardless of how well it pays or how little it pays, they'll be off unemployment.
So how would he ever know that?
I don't know.
But
it's a stance that he takes, and it's like, I mean, fuck you, man. Raise the minimum wage, and we'll get back to work.
Well, that's the funny thing about this whole thing, because all these like big box chains, McDonald's, Del Taco, Burger King, they're closing because they don't have any employees to work for them. And
yeah, it's like people don't want to work, and it's like, no, pay them more.
And
they will work.
The Republican argument is like, well, they make all of these excuses, right? We have 3 companies I can name off the top of my head that we have here in California, and I know Greg doesn't have them in one of them or a few of them in where he lives, but he also has Aldi, which is Trader Joe's. They all pay their employees like Costco, Trader Joe's, In-N-Out. If you're a manager at In-N-Out, you can make upwards of $100,000 plus benefits. They're a private company, but still. So there is a version of ethical capitalism that can happen, right?
Yeah.
So, and again, this idea of like these should be worked by teens. No, that the people that say that like these jobs should be worked by teens are the same people who lied us into saying that higher education and going into debt for that was worth it. So blow me, and your company, like your company's making less, because there are companies that exist that still are massively profitable that don't pay shitty fucking wages. Like, and like, we have to be honest, guys, people. Some people in this world, most people, are not complex enough to work in middle management. And it's not their fault, and it's not a problem, but they should be able to live alone and not have a roommate, and be able to feed their kid and whatever else. I mean, it's really pathetic. So do I think unemployment plus benefits are making people not go back to work? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, it's like, I think that people took this year to realize how fucking terrible their life was working for these companies that don't give a fucking shit about them. So it's just great, you know? And so yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean, sure, you guys have all seen the people posting pictures of signs posted up on the doors of like McDonald's and Arby's and shit. It's like all of the signs are like, well, half the signs are like, no one wants to work. If you need a job, please submit an application or whatever. And then you look up the salary and it's like $7 an hour. And all the rest of the signs, the other half of the signs are, we all quit. We're closed today.
Yeah.
It's like, that is, who do I trust more? The workers. I do not trust the corporate letter that they had to proofread 10,000 times and get it approved to post on the door. I more so trust the handwritten, we all quit, good luck signs on these doors.
And you know what's interesting to me, is it's really telling. So Nianoni was talking about this the other day, is so we are led to believe that the police force is super underfunded and really in a bad place right now, right? And part of that might be true. But simultaneously, if you weren't relying on a massive pension, they'd all fucking bail too and make a point about like what needs to be changed. And, you know, around here in particular, it's like, okay, so if I jaywalk, these fucking fatties will give me a ticket. But if my shit gets stolen, they'll never find it or even try.
No, exactly.
So it's really just really, I mean, like a lot of, I just hope like everybody seems to be waking up. I mean, like honestly, seeing like this Israel-Palestine thing and everyone being like, oh, fuck Israel. It's like, yeah, we've been new. Like, oh, this, you know, this fucking bizarre walled in sort of this fucking state that was established by Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, by a bunch of Mossad paratroopers is getting billions of dollars from us, even though they're like as well armed as we are. The Iron Dome that's protecting them, the technology was invented by my grandfather. Like, we give them everything. And it's like, and as Americans, we're supposed to care so much so that even if you criticize the government, not Jewish people, obviously, you're an anti-Semite.
Right.
They have put so many brainworms in people's heads about that it's like, I don't even really want to touch it. Like, but other than that, like, dude, honestly, this fucking government is so ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, I saw this great post today that was like somebody like mocking those who want to stay neutral on this issue. And it was like, I'm neutral. I condemn terror on both sides of this. So anybody dying, my heart goes out to you. And then in the next like panel of the comic that they posted, it's like, but all of my funding goes to Israel.
Right.
I'm going to give one side $13 million a day.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. And it's like, it's like,
you know,
comparing the two sides as terror organizations is like the FBI radicalizing low IQ Muslims to commit jihad. Like, that's really kind of what's going on here. Like, the Mossad is scarier than our intelligence agencies. Like, Epstein, I mean, look at the connection between the Mossad and Epstein and just kind of.
Is Ghislaine dead?
Not yet.
Okay.
Soon enough, though. Also, that we've like not seen any pictures of her. It's very strange to me.
Well, I mean, she's still in jail, isn't she?
Well, she's in Israel now.
She's in Israel, yeah. Well, she's very protected there.
She would be.
In that Iron Dome or whatever
Iron
the
Dome.
fuck it is.
Yeah. That's all I got. I'm a little low energy, Jeff.
That's all I kind of got too. I mean,
I'm gonna probably, that little video I made for that song I just made, I'll probably play that and then the outro.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
stick around for that little song.
I made a little song.
Song and dance.
It won't get us copyright struck because it's
yours.
I tested it. Well, kind of. I tested it on. I tested it on my YouTube channel, my main one, to see if it got caught for anything. Nope. Because like the first part slowed down a lot. The second part sped up a lot. Yeah. So
they can't detect it.
No. And so I'll play that in the outro. But we'll see you next Wednesday with hopefully.
Next Wednesday, yeah. Subscribe. Tell your friends if you're not embarrassed that you listen to two faggots talk about pop culture and politics all day.
Right.
And we're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Bye.
Never reached down to the wire. Feeling brave and light a fire. You just keep me hanging on. Never reached down to the wire. Feeling brave and light a fire. You just keep me hanging on. If you're feeling brave and light a fire.
Everybody feel it come around with the rhythm, it's the sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you.
The groove is thick, so I'ma rhyme like a lunatic. I do this shit with an unassuming wit. The corporation conjured up the bass and the tempo. My name is Lift, that's the intro, now let's go. The flow of life throwing strife into the mix to depict our condition and the word is sick. The powers to be, a power in me to speak upon stress and strife that I see every day. And launch a speaker bomb, culture of fear is up in your ear. They're telling us terrorists about to strike, maybe tonight. Right, let me just back up slowly with critical analysis of those who control me. It used to be we just had a screen in the crib on the TV, but now we carry screens when we leave. See laptops, smartphones, now we're never alone. A new affliction I call media dome. But on the road, famine is the programming. You wanna watch your favorite show because it's so slamming. Hold hands and let's gaze into the beautiful glare while we're here so immersed in this culture of fear.
We never reached down to the wire. If you're feeling brave, then light a fire. Light a fire for me.
Everybody feel it come around with the rhythm, it's the sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you.
Yo, we fear the IRS, fear the INS, fear God. I'm more afraid of a credit card than a terror squad. It's really dog, but stepping with weapons overseas. Yet MasterCard and Visa won't allow me to breathe. They deceive, the enemy is in the fine print. They assassinate silent, with no single assailant. Walls I'm scaling to get a view of the blue sky. It's beautiful, then a couple choppers flew by. Dubai, represent an element, a hint, a sentiment that you feel on the low. For real, the deal starts with a smile, concludes with a handshake. Physical to alter your subliminal landscape. You leave thinking I can really trust that guy. To be honest, kid, you should've really punched that guy. Now it's Operation Shanker Banker. Thank you for the loan. See you when you come to repossess my home. Alone at night, sweating with visions of Armageddon. I never seen the threat, yet I feel threatened. Parts of our society designed to smear freedom. Don't succumb to this culture of fear.